Today is Sunday and I made some enchiladas here. We're gonna have that for dinner tonight. And then I reheated some refried beans. I make a big crock pot full and sometimes we don't finish them all. So then I threw the other half in the freezer. So those are those. And then for this, I make my own green. It's a salsa verde, but I don't make it very spicy. But I use a bunch of green tomatoes from my garden last year. I know you're not supposed to have too many green tomatoes, but I do like to make the green enchilada sauce using them, and it's really tasty. And then these are chicken enchiladas, so I don't really have a recipe for them. I just kind of throw things together. I do chicken, cheddar. We had some leftover, what were they, sauteed or fried up green peppers from a birthday yesterday, and they gave us the leftovers, so I chopped those up and put those in. And then the sour cream, just some spices like chili powder, garlic, salt, pepper, cumin, and then some sour. Yeah, I did say sour cream. Yep. Ryan, don't like the spoon.
I did.
Oh my jeez. Anyways.
I still like it.
Okay, I know you're hungry. And then the tortillas, I attempted to make my own tortillas a while back. I got a tortilla press off Amazon, and I thought that it would be easier, but it didn't really work out that way. And they kind of are just as thick as when I roll them out with a rolling pin, so didn't really work out so great. So anyway, but I use those for these because they aren't very pretty. So we were having that, and then I'll show you what everything looks like plated up. All right, so this is everything plated up on the plate. Kind of looks a little funny. I made a mess, so I covered it up with lettuce on the side. I don't know how you make this look beautiful. Anyway, just have it with some lettuce, scallions, and some pico de gallo. Not homemade, it's from a restaurant. We just had leftovers from a party, so we took them home. The beans, guacamole, and sour cream. So this is what we are having then for this Sunday night. Today is Monday, and we had a change of plans. I was going to make sloppy joe today. Actually, no, I was going to make pork chops today, but our local farm didn't have any in stock. So I had to skip those, and I went to a different farm and got some for tomorrow. So we'll have those, sneak peek. So we're having burgers instead. We were going to have sloppy joes later in the week, but decided to flip things around and do burgers. So these are just local burgers. I have some lettuce, some fontina cheese underneath there, pickles from a local place too, and some tomatoes. This is a pineapple tomato from the garden, and have some of that on the side as well. And then just some of the McCain French fries as well. And the bun here is just a brioche bun from Great Value from Walmart. So this is what we are having this Monday night. Today is Tuesday night, and we are having some local pork chops. I picked these up at a different farm since our usual farm was out of the pork chops for the week. They're really expensive. They're like $9 for two of them, but it's worth it. We don't really like to, we try to eat local meat as much as we can and support our local farmers. So we bought those, and we don't eat pork all the time. And then I just have some non-local Uncle Ben's wild rice. My mom always made this growing up, so every once in a while I like to make it. It doesn't have any MSG or anything like that in there, but lots of salt, but it tastes really good. I did try, I forget what brand it was. I feel like it was the Lundenburg brand of more natural wild rice with the spices and stuff, and it was good, but I still prefer the Uncle Ben's. And then we just have some garden beans and some tomato. This is another pineapple tomato. They kind of taste a little watery. They're not very acidic. But it was our first time trying them out. I thought they would be like a Mr. Stripey. They look like a Mr. Stripey tomato, but anyway, I think a little bit more acid I thought that they would have. But they don't, so maybe we'll grow them again next year. Anyway, this is what we are having for this Tuesday night. Today is Friday night, and this was actually supposed to be yesterday's meal, but we were out at an amusement park with family. We had some family in from out of town, and didn't make it back for dinner time, so this is what we're having tonight. Yesterday we just ended up eating at the park. We had just chicken fingers and fries, good old park food. And then tonight we're just having some haddock. It's just baked fish. I make it baked the same way every time. It's just some mayo, salt, dill, dried dill, And then I sprinkle on some panko breadcrumbs, and I just bake that like 350 or 375 for however long you think you need it to bake for, depending on the thickness of your fish. I think mine was about 20 minutes or so. And then I just broiled it just to crisp up the topping a little bit. And then this is the Annie's Deluxe Mac and Cheese, and then just some steam and bag Brussels sprouts. We still have a lot of green beans, but I'm saving that for later. I might actually combine this week's video with next week's video. I realize we're probably not going to have a lot of extra footage tomorrow because we'll be with family again. So I'm not sure if I'll just combine this for next week. If I don't, then I hope you like this video. And if you like these types of videos, please give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you next week. Bye. Sorry for being away for a few days. We had family in from out of town, so I didn't really record anything that we ate. But this is a new week. It's Monday. We are having kind of something I just threw together. Just some chicken thighs I threw in the crock pot with some, it was a Mediterranean restaurant style dressing, salad dressing that I had left in the fridge. So I threw that in. And then I just added in some artichoke hearts that I had frozen from a meal months ago, and then some sun-dried tomatoes I also had in the refrigerator. So hopefully this tastes good. Oh, and I put a little extra garlic in too. I haven't even really tried it yet. So hopefully it's good. And I have that over some brown rice, and then we're just having that with some steamed broccoli on the side. So this is what we are having this Monday night. Tonight is Tuesday night, and we are having some pulled pork sandwiches, some homemade coleslaw, and corn on the cob. The buns are just the Great Value brioche buns from the bakery. And then the pork, actually, we usually just do like a plain pork loin. I like the loin, it's a little leaner. And then I cook it in the crock pot all day. And then we just top it with this Carolina sauce from Aldi, the Berman's brand. It's really, really good. But I happened to be looking in my Eating Well magazine, it's the September issue, and they had a Carolina style pulled pork recipe in there. So we're trying that out tonight. It has like an apple cider and brown sugar vinaigrette that you put on it. So I'm hoping it's really good, and I don't need to add any of the sauce to it. So I'll let you know how that is. And then the coleslaw, I don't really measure anything. I just kind of eyeball it. I just get a bag of the coleslaw mix from Walmart. And then I have some scallions right here out back that I trimmed, threw those in, and then some green bell pepper, and then I just add some mayo and apple cider vinegar, salt, pepper, and a little sugar for sweetness, and then mix it all together and let it sit for a couple hours. It's so good. And I do chop my coleslaw up a little bit finer. Oh, I also add salt, pepper, and celery seed. I love celery seed in coleslaw, so I chop mine up a little finer so it's more like a restaurant style. And then the corn was for my sister, her mother-in-law. They grew a bunch of corn, so she shared. So we're having that on the side as well. That's what we're having this Tuesday night. So tonight is Wednesday night, and I am just prepping some stuff, some food for dinner time, just ahead of time. I harvested, I don't know if you've followed my channel from the beginning, I planted a couple like baby size potatoes in a large bucket outside. I don't know how many gallons it is, but it's one of those really big containers you can probably get from Walmart, maybe for $5, and you could put like large toys and stuff in them. We keep one out in the garage, and I just drilled some holes in it and filled, planted some of these little tiny potatoes that had eyes on them in there, and then just kind of mounded up the soil till it reached the top. And then there are a bunch of flowers and leaves, and then they started to die off. And you know, this is the first time I ever did it, but Google says you can harvest them before everything dies off, or wait until everything dies off. But I thought if I waited until everything died off, maybe it might be a little too late because they're supposed to be small little new potatoes. So anyway, I decided to harvest them. I harvested them last week. There's some here, and never mind my dishes. I have some more. I just put in a little brown paper bag. I'm not going to store these obviously for a very long time, so I think they're okay to eat. I'm always confused on the whole curing of the potato thing, like if everything has to sit out for 2 weeks before you can eat them. But I assume you can just eat some of the potatoes right away if they're the new potatoes and they're small, so that's what we're going to do. They're not green or anything, so they don't need to have a tough skin. Anyway, I had a couple that came out that kind of had, like, they looked like they were starting to sprout in and of themselves, so that's why I thought maybe I waited a little long to harvest them. So I'm not sure. I'm not going to replant this one. I just assume it's just some eyes that was getting started to produce its own plant. But I got a couple of those like that. We'll cut them and probably just eat them. But anyway, I washed up some of them. A couple of them are a pretty decent size, but I know I planted a couple different varieties, like some were cutlings from a larger potatoes, so I'm thinking maybe these were those, and I probably could have let them go a little longer, but then I had a lot of the little new potatoes that I planted. So anyway, we're gonna have that, and we're gonna have that with some, I have some delicious, sorry, the Sam's Choice Wild Alaskan Sockeye Salmon. We don't have this all the time. It's usually pretty expensive. I think it's $11.94 for just 3 smallish fillets with the skin on. So we have it once in a while. We used to eat it more, but not as often. I usually do salmon cakes instead. But yeah, this is like $11.94 for 12 ounces. And then we still have a lot of beans in the garden, and they're coming back again. But these are all the different varieties. We have green beans, some of the seeds I saved from last year and regrew them, but some of them kind of reverted back to their like pole variety. They were supposed to be bush beans, but some of them turned out to be pole, and they're choking out all the other ones nearby that are bush beans. And then these, sorry, are the dragon tongue beans. They're really pretty when they're exposed to the sun. They get these really pretty purple streaks. The ones that are kind of buried down in the leaves towards the ground are more of like a yellow and light pale purple. And then of course the burgundy beans as well, but those all turn green and yellow when you cook them, but they're really pretty and nice to eat. I've put a whole bunch of them away in the freezer. So yeah, just wanted to show you the potatoes. I did that. So we got a pretty good harvest, I would say. There's enough for another meal here, so at least 2 meals. I don't think I'll probably do it again next year unless I just have a bunch of extra dirt hanging around and potatoes that are starting to go bad. And I also did a couple sweet potatoes. I tried to do slips on my own and they took forever to form, so I only ever got like maybe 1 or 2, and only really one of them took off, and it produced a couple really small sweet potatoes. But yeah, I got one smallish, decent sized one. I probably could have let them go again a little longer. And a bunch of little ones, so I'll just cut them and slice them, and we'll roast them off then one of these nights. But yeah, I'll show you what everything looks like a little later when we plate it up. All right, so this is Wednesday night's dinner. I just seasoned the salmon with some dill, salt, pepper, and a little olive oil, and I baked it off in the oven. And then these are some roasted potatoes. I showed you the potatoes before, and then I chopped up some onion as well. And I just top it with, it is hot, honey, onion powder, garlic powder, thyme, paprika, garlic powder, and salt and pepper, and a little olive oil. It's really, really good. Did I say thyme? Yeah, add thyme. And then green beans there on the side from the garden. This is what we are having this Wednesday night. Hey everyone, so today is Thursday. It's just about 8:30 in the morning, and I am just prepping some stuff for dinner tonight. We are gonna do tacos. I was gonna try a new restaurant close to us for some Mexican food, but it's just so hot. I figure we'll just stay in today and just do tacos here. So I'm doing my usual crock-pot beans. These take 8 hours to cook, so lots of seasonings in there, pinto beans, onion, water, and let that cook. It takes 8 hours on high. This is an old crock-pot, seen better days. But I did want to show, I got this taco kit from, I don't know if you can see the price. It says 5 for $1 there. It was 20 cents. I got it from one of our discount stores. I got it more just for the blue corn taco shells because they're made with organic blue corn. And the best by date was only July 16th of 2021. So I figured that's not too far off, and it wasn't July at the time, or July 16th at the time. So I figured we'd probably try these and use them up in the next couple months. I always get a little eked out by things that have oil in them, that are shelf stable, and don't like to necessarily buy them if they have oil in them and it's past their prime, but it just says Best Buy. It doesn't say expires. So I'm comfortable with that. But anyway, it includes, I guess, a seasoning, 12 taco shells, and the sauce. I thought I would just open it up. Let me just put you down. I wanted to see what it looks like. And then I will show you. Hopefully everything's not broken. Okay, so those are the shells. Okay, and then this is the sauce. So the sauce doesn't look terrible. We'll have to smell it. The ingredients didn't look horrible either. I think it just said, sorry, sniffling. Yeah, sauce. Tomato puree, water, lime juice, salt, jalapenos, and garlic powder. Sounds pretty clean, and everything else looks pretty clean for the seasoning if I want to use that. Rice flour, cane sugar, onion powder, garlic powder. Pretty standard stuff. So while it's a pretty big packet, this makes a pound of ground beef, but I'm only going to do half a pound. So if this is tasty enough, I'll save it, but if not, I'm not going to worry about it. But I just more or less bought them for the shells. So we'll try out the blue corn ones. Looks like they're not all broken, which is great. So we'll have that tonight. I'll let you know how these are. I think these kits are like $4 something in the store if they're not on sale. So ooh, that's my phone. So I'll show you what everything looks like a little bit later. Bye. All right, so this is Thursday night's dinner. Those are the taco shells that we showed you earlier today. And then I have the crock pot refried beans there. I'll put the recipe in the link below. It's one of our favorite recipes. And the rice is from a cookbook. I'll have to put a link to the cookbook in the description box for you. It's just like a garlicky white rice. And then I have some tomatoes, lettuce, cheddar cheese, and the taco meat. And I used the seasoning that came with that taco kit. I think it's a little spicy. I usually omit the cayenne pepper from my own taco seasoning blend, so I might not use the other half of the packet, but figure we'd try it out. And then just some sour cream on the side. So this is what we are having this Thursday night. Today is Friday night, and we are having some semi-homemade spaghetti sauce over spaghetti noodles. I have a recipe link for that in the description box below. It's one of my top videos. Then some more green beans from the garden. I think they're starting to slow up a little bit, but I had another row that I planted a little later in the season, and that has flowers on it now. So we'll probably get some more beans soon. Some basil from the garden. I like to put that on my spaghetti as well. And then this is just some French bread this time that I made, I don't know, probably a month ago, and I froze half the loaf and then sliced it and made it into some garlic toast. So this is what we are having this Friday night. Tonight is Saturday night, and we are having burgers on the grill. I think we had this already in our video from maybe a week ago. These are just some local hamburger patties. We have Swiss cheese on top, onion, lettuce, and I put tomato on it if I had a ripe tomato in the garden, but I don't yet, or I don't right now. We did. And I have some leftover fries in the freezer, so we made those up. Those are just the McCain brand. And then I reheated some green beans. I made a bunch of them yesterday. So those are from our garden. We're gonna eat some of those again tonight. And this was corn on the cob, but I take mine off. Corn on the cob, local corn. And this is what we're having this Saturday night.